Okay, so people, I just checked out Evil Dead Rise. This is the new film in the franchise, written and directed by Lee Cronin. The film is produced by Rob Tappert, executive produced by Sam Raimi, Victoria Palmera, Dave Nustada, John Keevil, Mac Macdara Kelleher, Bruce Campbell, Robert Brenner, and Rommel Adams. It is associate produced by Jose Canas and line produced by Maura Grant. Stephen McCown handles the music, Dave Garbett cinematography, Brian Shaw edits the piece. Right, casting is handled by Stu Turner and Kirsty McGregor. Production design is Nick Bassett. Art direction, we have George Hamilton, Nick Connor, and Matt Austin, with Gareth Edwards on set decoration and Sarah Voon on costume design. So our cast, we have got Teresa, played by Mirabai Pease, her cousin Jessica, played by Anna Marie Thomas, and Teresa's boyfriend. Is it Teresa's boyfriend or Jessica's boyfriend? Yeah, Teresa's boyfriend Caleb, right? Played by Richard Crouchley. Then we have got sisters, Beth, played by Lily Sullivan, and Ellie, played by Alyssa Sutherland. Ellie's got 3 kids, right? There is Bridget, played by Gabrielle Echols, Danny, played by Morgan Davies, and Cassie, played by Nell Fisher. Right? We also have got Bruce, played by Noah Paul. There's Jack, played by Billy Reynolds McCarthy. Scott, played by Ty Wanu. Gabriel, played by Jaden Daniels. Mr. Fonda, played by Mark Mitchinson. And the new caster, played by Melissa Zhao. So, yes. And Bruce Campbell, though not really in it, he is a voice on the recording of the record. So yes, he still does make a cameo in the film. Now, I feel like I was lied to with this. Feel like I was lied to because I do not remember the first Evil Dead. I'm not sure I saw that. I watched Army of Darkness, right? Army of Darkness was more a comedy. It was funny. I thought this franchise was a kind of a comedy situation. This was not a fucking comedy, people. This was not I was so unsettled. I had to go out. I went out. I went to the gym. I would just come back because, that was some craziness. That was some fucking gory ass craziness, man. Like, we start off with our cousins, right? Jessica and Teresa, and Jessica's boyfriend Caleb. So they're out at a cabin. Yeah, Jessica's ill, right? Caleb doesn't really seem to care. And yeah, she gets like, I don't know, Teresa goes to look after her, and then all goes just crazy. All goes crazy. We then cut like to the day before. So we're like, oh, so this is how we get to that point, right? This is what happened to these three teenagers or young adults. We're not quite sure how old they are. But we are not with these people, right? We're not with them. We're with Ellie and her kids, right? They're in this apartment. Things aren't going well, right? Things aren't going well. Though this is a huge fucking apartment for people kind of living on the edge of things, right? Not rich. That apartment's fucking huge. It's just like, yo, okay. I'd like to live in something that size. But yeah, things are rough, right? You can see that the kids are just being fucking kids and all of this kind of jazz. And her sister arrives. Right? Ellie's sister Beth arrives. And you can see there's a disconnect there. We do see some earlier scenes with Beth as a, she's a music technician, right? A guitar technician, that kind of thing. So we see this, and you can see there's a lot of dysfunction. There's a lot of dysfunction. Now, an earthquake then hits. Earthquake hits, which seemed very, I don't know. Earthquake seemed weird, but a hole appears in the ground, which then leads to all the bullshit, right? All the bullshit. And this is where I get a little, because, there's protocols, right? Now, there's no earthquakes in England. I mean, there's been some low level shit recorded in Wales, I think, a few times, but, nothing that you feel. You know what I mean? So we don't have to do all of that kind of, you know what I mean? But you've seen films, right? You read about things, there's protocols, right? Earthquakes, do not get in lifts, right? Do not, you know what I mean? Like stand in doorways, I think they say, and, get under table, just all of those things. So when you see, Danny do the shit, Danny, you're just like, wait, what? Like, come on, man. Like, they're just doing shit that you're just like, this all seems very odd. Very odd indeed. And even, right, Ellie moans at the kids for doing something, and then she does the same thing. Because I'm just like, I ain't using that lift for a while, because aftershocks and just all, could be loose and stuff. So I'm being mad careful. You feel me? I'm being mad careful. So it was just, we see a lot of actions go down that you're just like, what? Who's doing this shit? Right? I was skeptical on that front, ain't gonna lie. And then we have like we have this book that is off key, right? These cruddy old records. Like if you find a book, well, firstly, if I went in a hole and found shit, I ain't bringing that up. You know what I mean? There's finding artifacts, there's artifacts, right? There's finding fossils, and then there's finding, shit like this. And I'm just like, you know what? That's staying right there, right? I'm calling someone and I'll be like, yo, you know what I mean? But if you find a book covered in just the nastiness this book is covered in, I'm like, you know what? I ain't touching that. I ain't like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And that just seemed baffling. It seemed baffling what went down, you know, all of that seemed very, very weird. And there is a lot of people seeing something fucked up and then going, wait, what's wrong? Are you, oh, what's going on? Like, there's a period where you could escape, but instead of escaping, people are like, huh, what is, hold on. Oh, are you? Maybe I'll wait until you're right up on me. Right? You're just like, how, what's wrong with these people? And they're not looking after each other. That was another crazy thing. Like, yo, you've got, the brothers and sisters. There's that age gap, so the older ones should be looking after the younger ones, like but no one's just like, okay, we all stick together, right? Obviously, if they do that, it's not the same film, right? But you just kind of think that's the thing that's the thing that makes sense in this scenario. Why would anyone do anything different? Like, what's happening? And then you've got your neighbors again. Everyone you'd think would be sticking together, right? It is just the way everyone's going about things is bizarre. It's fucking bizarre. Like that had me baffled, right? That had me baffled. We have other bits and bobs going down. Like, if there's a place where a cat can go, right? That gives you a size benchmark. So then for the next thing, you're just like, nope, that's not. And even because of the difference from when you first to then later, you're just like, nah, that makes no sense. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Huh? So there's all this craziness going down. And then even with all this crazy, right? No one is looking too disheveled until we throw in the blood. When the blood comes, then yeah, people are coated and just all. But up at that point, a lot of stuff's going down, and everyone still looks, hair's in place, right? No one's sweating. No one's, you know what I mean? Those kids would be sweating, or they'd wet shit themselves. Like, this is some scary shit. You know what I'm saying? No one is looking fresh to death in that situation, So we just have all this manner of crazy taking place. And yeah, I'm rolling my eyes. I'm definitely rolling my eyes. Though, as I said, this was some fucking gory, creepy shit. It really was. And this is why I do not watch horrors at night, people. You know what I mean? But at the very end, it ties into what we saw at the beginning. But that did have me questioning things a little. Because it's just like, okay, if that can happen, why didn't it happen beforehand? Right? After the other stuff. I didn't quite get that. Now, maybe this is all explained in the other previous films, and because again, I don't know if I saw the original. I know I saw Army of Darkness, but that was frigging, decades ago, right? Because I'm not quite sure when Army of Darkness came out. I feel it was in the 90s. You know what I mean? I feel that was in the 90s because, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it just feels like it was so long ago. You know what I mean? I might be wrong, but oh, yeah, 92, obvious. So I have not, you know what I mean? seen those films. So maybe there was stuff mentioned in Army of Darkness and I missed. But there were things that went down which I was a little baffled at. But I will say, if horror films are your thing, yeah, I think you'd like this one. I think you, because I was very unnerved. I was just like, I do not like this at all. You know what I mean? That's the thing. I left my house, right? I mean, that tells you a lot, people. So yeah, from the effects were very good. Effects were very good. The lighting, all of that thing. I was just dubious on certain, you know, plot points. But, you know, that style of thing was good. The acting was kind of horror acting. So it wasn't horrible, but it is like a little hammy in places. You know what I mean? But yeah, if you're a horror fan, if you like, you know, I imagine if you like the previous Evil Deads, if you like Smile, right? Megan, all of them things, I do feel that will be this will be your thing for sure, right? I watched it on Netflix, and I believe it is all over the place. So yeah, people, a new Evil Dead, and I do believe, right? I do believe that a future one has been set, right? That's what I feel I've heard that, you know? Yeah, I do believe I've heard that. So I think there was the 3 original films. Then you had, well, I think there's one in 2013. There was the TV series, right? Yeah, and so this is the 5th film in the franchise, and as I said, I believe that a new one is on its way. So, well, with the writer strike and all of that, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think there is gonna be more. So, Evil Dead fans, rise up, baby, because you've got a gory motherfucking one on your hands with this. Enjoy.